When I first became aware of this entire dynamic was actually when I was a kid, and I would watch A&E's biography. And anytime they would do a biography about one of these old-time Hollywood female celebrities, the main source of information being interviewed would be an extremely well-dressed gay man who was her life friend, dear, close, personal friend. He was a hag fag, okay? So this dynamic also frequently emerges with rich, powerful, socially or politically connected women. Alpha level with a homosexual man trailing along behind them. The man, the homosexual man, is looking for long-term financial benefits. He's perhaps looking for career advancement. He's certainly looking for social status. And he may even, although this is less common today, but up until not too long ago, he may have been looking for a beard cover, you know, wanting to perhaps put forth the idea that maybe he was sexually involved with this woman in order to, you know, cover his homosexuality in public or to his family or whatever. The woman is looking for a quote-unquote human pet or a stable male presence in light of her own promiscuity, a de facto personal assistant, perhaps a fashion consultant, you know, since it's a gay man, and maybe even sometimes a manny, a guy who will take care of her kids. Let's talk about aesthetics. This is fascinating. Have you ever said, hey, why is everything so damn ugly these days? Well, it all has to do with diabolical narcissism. Back to the declared goals of communism. Number 22 from the list of 45. Continue discrediting American culture by degrading all forms of artistic expression. An American communist cell was told to, quote, eliminate all good sculpture from parks and buildings, substitute shapeless, awkward, and meaningless forms. Number 23 from the list of 45 goals of communism. Control art critics and directors of art museums. Quote, our plan is to promote ugliness, repulsive, and meaningless art. Being incapable, this is so interesting, being incapable of genuine happiness or pleasure, diabolical narcissists have no taste. I'm not saying they have bad taste. I'm saying exactly what I said. They have no taste. They don't even know what they like. They have to be told by someone else what they like, because think about it. If you are incapable of pleasure, if you're incapable of happiness, right? All you're capable of is anger, hatred, jealousy, and fear. How do you know what you like and what you don't like? You have to be told by someone else. And so, almost always what happens is they have an alpha attachment above them, or someone that they are sexually attracted to. They'll also take cues from that. And they are then told what they like. Then what they do is they adopt that as dogma and defend it with just the utmost viciousness, complete viciousness. They can't justify it. They don't know why they like the things they like, or they have the aesthetic that they have, but they will defend it viciously as dogma. Here's an example. This is an award-winning stained glass window that was actually installed in a church in Denver. And oh, a big hubbub was made about these amazing stained glass windows, and look at these things, and these things are supposed to be apparently representing the different choirs of angels. And we look at this, and it is ugly. In fact, if we go back, it is exactly this. It is shapeless, awkward, meaningless form. It's jagged, it's rough, it has no symmetry, it's not representing anything, it's completely random. The jaggedness especially is what bothers me. You look at it and ooh, it's gonna cut me or something. It's like shards of glass or something like that. This is award-winning. People running around say, oh, this is the most beautiful thing. No, it's not. It's horrifically ugly. the hell's the matter with you? If you want to have stained glass windows of angels, why don't you have, I don't know, call me crazy, maybe stained glass windows that depict angels and not random, meaningless, shapeless, ugly forms like this? Why are these people running around and saying that this ugliness is beauty? It's because they have been told by alphas above them, going all the way back into the middle of the 20th century, people who were planted and specifically tasked with destroying the aesthetic sense of the culture. Tell this diabolical narcissist beta class that ugliness is beautiful. They will then spread this dogmatically and defend this aesthetic viciously. It's exactly what's happened. This is another award, this is a church, this is award-winning church architecture. It's hideous. It's absolutely hideous. And this is being called beauty by the diabolical narcissist beta class, taking their marching orders from above. Even though they're unable to self-generate a defense or explanation of their acquired aesthetic, they hold it as dogma and defend it as such. This is another example of this. Years ago, when I still had Netflix, I was watching documentaries. I'd watch documentary after documentary on Netflix. And I came across 2 documentaries about fashion designers, and of course, homosexuals. The first one was about Valentino, and the second one was about Yves Saint Laurent. Okay, so the first one, Valentino, you see that Valentino has this sodomite sex partner who is also his business partner and runs the business, a man named Giancarlo Giammetti, okay? And what you see is that in the fitting area, when they are in the process of designing the collections, the girl would walk in and have some rough draft of a garment on. And Valentino, who is the brand, the face, he's the one who is thought to be the driving force, the creative force behind all this. It's no such thing. Valentino is sitting there next to his dominant homosexual alpha business partner, Giancarlo Giammetti, and he's sitting there the whole time saying, do we like this? Is this good? Is the hem too high? Should we take the hem down? Is the ruffle too much? Do we like this? Is it good? Is it not? Can't make any move or decision by himself. Has to be told what he likes by the alpha homosexual business partner. It's exactly the same thing with Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent had a lifelong sodomite sex partner who also ran his business, a man named Pierre Berger, and would do exactly the same thing. Berger would be in the room, and Saint Laurent is constantly saying, is this good? Is this good? Was it too high? What do you think of the color? Do we change it? Do we not change it? Stunning. It's a stunning revelation. These people, Valentino, Saint Laurent, they can't make any of their own decisions. They have no taste in and of themselves. They have to be told by somebody else. Isn't that fascinating? So here's a picture. This is Valentino and Giammetti in one of these fitting rooms. In this image, Valentino is on the left and Giammetti is on the right with the silver hair. And here's a picture from the 60s. Saint Laurent is on the right on his knees, and Berger is standing on the left. There they are. Mass media and academia have destroyed and completely inverted all aesthetics presented to children. Show a child or teen today a Renaissance masterpiece or play Beethoven's Sixth, and they will wince and scream as if in pain. They genuinely hate beauty because they have all been conditioned to be this army of beta diabolical narcissists who are completely receptive to the commands and signals from the alpha psychopath class above them, who are inculcating them and turning them into these little narcissistic stormtroopers out to destroy the culture. In a culture full of diabolical narcissists, all that is required to invert an aesthetic is to plant a few alphas at the top who then plant the lie that ugly is beautiful. The beta diabolical narcissist population then takes up the mantra, enforces it, and spreads it. Now let's talk about education, academia, young people in general today. Hey, have you ever asked yourself, why are my kids or grandkids insufferable, godless totalitarians? Is that happening to any of you out there? Are any of your kids or grandkids manifesting as these social justice warriors? Why is this happening? Back to the 45 declared goals of communism. Number 17, get control of the schools. Use them as transmission belts for socialism and current communist propaganda. Soften the curriculum. Get control of teachers' associations. Put the party line in textbooks. Point number 18, gain control of all student newspapers. That today, that's the internet and media and so forth. And point number 41, emphasize the need to raise children away from the negative influence of parents. Attribute prejudices, mental blocks, and retarding of children to suppressive influence of parents. The reason why your children are monsters is because you sent them off. Your treasure, you handed them to monsters, Marxist monsters, because you were too lazy to take responsibility for their education yourself. It was just easier. They are this way because you failed them. Make no mistake. All education systems in the West today are designed to create diabolical narcissists. That's the point of the public schools. Heck, that's the point now of the Catholic schools, because they're all infiltrated and being run by these diabolical narcissist lesbian nun cadres and so forth. Convince the child that he is completely unique and never wrong, and that his precious little feelings are the center of the universe. Once a child is deified, remember we talked about that at the very beginning of the presentation. Once a child is deified and diabolically narcissistic, he is integrated into the bureaucratic beta strata in the culture and given his marching orders as a social justice warrior. That's what schools are today. They are factories to produce diabolical narcissists. Diabolical narcissists are also attracted to education because they enjoy breaking students. I can remember off the top of my head two. There was one in the elementary school that I was in, and she had it in for boys. Boys would come through a year in her classroom and they'd just be broken. And then there was another one when I was in junior high, and she was clearly a lesbian. Now you look back in retrospect and you didn't kind of realize it, but she just hated everybody and just luxuriated in hurting kids and breaking them. She was cruel. So we've probably all heard people say things like, Peter was a great kid and loved school until he spent a year in Miss So-and-so's class, or Rob never recovered from the tormenting he took from Coach D, like middle school PE coaches who were just diabolical and would luxuriate